Okay, parents, caregivers, I got a question. So my kids are homeschooled. So that means we don't necessarily have like built-in friendships from a classroom where, I can easily just talk to a parent or guardian of a fellow classmate and be like, hey, our kids get along. You want to meet at the park? Things like that. Now, when I take my kids to places that have other kids and events, parks, library events, we have a Pokemon store that hosts kid events about Pokemon, my son is always like, if I make a friend, how do I keep in contact with that friend? And I'm sitting there going, I have no idea. Now, about a year ago, my son was hitting it off with another child at a Pokemon store. They were having a really great time looking at each other's trading cards and binders. And after we bought my son some cards and this other child, their mom bought them cards, they were opening it. They did a couple trades. And, this child's mom and I were like, oh, well, they're really having a good time. We chatted of like, oh, hey, I found some of these cards that your kid is looking for over here. I wouldn't say, we bonded, but, we were friendly and, enjoying ourselves as well. So when we were getting ready to leave, I said to the mom, hey, do you want to exchange phone numbers? So maybe we can coordinate meeting back here another time. And she said no. She was like, no, we'll just, maybe bump into each other again another time. Now, I wasn't disappointed for myself. I wasn't looking for like a mom friend. I was disappointed for my son that, since then, we've never bumped into them again. And, when even my daughter, hang out with somebody at the library for an hour or two, and then it's like, yeah, gotta go, bye. They're like, goodbye. How do you go to the parent or guardian and say, hey, our kids had a good time. Do you want to exchange numbers to text and figure out when to meet back at the library or meet back at the park? Or we can all go hang out at Target, like whatever the situation is. How do you go about that? Because like after getting turned down that time, I'm like really hesitant. And, my son was like meeting people at library events, kids his age. And he's like, how do I stay in contact with them? Because not necessarily everybody who's a 9-year-old has a cell phone. My son doesn't. Not every 9-year-old, has a social media, app. They shouldn't. They're 9. How do you keep these kids in touch with each other if they are not in like a school setting and it's summertime and they met up at a park or the pool or something, where otherwise they're not going to see each other regularly? How do you keep your kids in touch with somebody that they've hit it off with? I have no idea. And it's also awkward because it doesn't feel like these parents are even looking for their kid to stay in touch. I'm trying to, I guess it looks like I'm not either, honestly, but it's like nobody is willing or wants to make the effort to stay connected. I don't know. I don't know how to handle this situation. So if anybody has any tips or tricks, let me know, because I feel so bad for my kids. They make a friend for an hour or two somewhere, and then they say goodbye, and we just hope we bump into them again. I don't know. Okay, I'm done babbling. Leave me a comment, message me, whatever, with how to handle this situation. Okay, I hope you're doing okay, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.